Okay guys, it's finally time. All that lack of sleep, all that excitement has led up to this. Let's take the covers off my new SL55. Hey guys, so the time is currently just past 5:30 in the morning, as you can see here on my trusty IWC AMG, and I can't sleep because my mind is too active and I'm too excited about the SL delivery. I've totally screwed this up. In the last video I did, I showed you my new G manufacturer custom G63, and within the video I teased the SL55 that it's arrived super early. And here's the teaser. A lot of you might have thought, oh, he's probably collected the car and taken it home. But I haven't. I saw it in the exact same position as you guys, covered up, just to tease. And in my arrogance, I thought I'd be fine, I won't think about it. I've been daydreaming about that car ever since then, in a complete daze, every day. It's so sad. Now, a lot of you might rightly assume that someone who's in a lucky enough and privileged and honoured enough position as me, doing the job I do, that a car collection just eventually will become a numb experience for me because it keeps happening. But that's the furthest thing from the truth, as you can see. So I'm damn excited. I've been packing, my usual delivery bag that you can see later, camera bag, etc. But I just felt like imparting that to those of you who will resonate with me on it. I haven't been this excited for a car collection since like my SLS or AMG GTS or GTR or something. I don't know. But being in the industry, I feel it hasn't numbed it for me. It's like increased it even more excited now than I ever used to be. Anyway, for you guys, let's skip all the pain that I'll have for the next few hours and just skip to the morning. So guys, good morning. The pain of not sleeping and being too excited is over now. There's the new guy that you saw last time. We've got a few guests, as you saw, actually come in. Super excited, of course. Let's start with this one first. You may have seen it on channel before. It's the Brabus 500 based on the GLE53 belonging to T1 DSO from Instagram. He loves it. He's done almost 30,000 miles in that, so clearly enjoying it. GLE AMG is a hell of a car. And then this one, the SL60. Wow, pre-merger AMG is getting so popular now. This is the perfect car to take along with us, just to show you, that lineage of SL where it went kind of a bit more luxurious, 2+2, but still a proper AMG. I think this links best to my car today. I'm going to be taking the GT Black Series because now the GT and the SL so much more linked together in their DNA, because the next GT is going to be based on a similar platform to the new SL, so that makes sense. Plus eye candy. I think it all works. Let's jump in and head to Northampton and let's pick up my new SL55. So guys, today's episode of RBR is sponsored by my favourite wallet company, The Ridge. Why are they my favourites? Because like you guys, I love carbon fibre, and they make simply the best carbon fibre wallets that I've ever seen. Look at that. Matches exactly your car. You can get the forged one as well. Now with slim wallets, I'm usually used to this type of one. Yes, I'm a bit of a tart with the brand, but these can only hold 5-6 cards maybe, whereas in the Ridge you can get up to 12 cards plus cash within the cash strap here. I also love that when I put it in my pocket, it doesn't bulge at all. It's super slim, and it's got RFID blocking technology, so no one can take money out of any of my cards. Now, of course, I've got a discount for you guys. All you need to do is go to theridge.com/RBR, use the code RBR. You'll get 10% off one of these awesome carbon wallets. Help support the channel as well, and you'll have something super stylish and something that matches lovely motorsport cars. So go to ridge.com/RBR. So guys, we've had our coffee and pastry break. And now the little convoy of black AMGs is off to Northampton. Not far away now, hit a bit of traffic, but almost there. So I thought I'd talk a little bit today about, while we're on the way, about the fact that this is firstly my first ever SL. Never owned an SL before. My dad had an SL320 when the last generation first became new, and that was in silver. And I was jealous as a kid of that car because I wanted to drive it. I was too small, but it always fascinated me because it sounded so good. It wasn't even, you know, SL320 back then was a very basic car compared to the 500 and the AMGs above it, but just the history of that car and how it reminded me of my then favourite car, which was the SLR, always enamoured me towards it. But no, never had an SL. In recent years, never wanted one either because it always seemed a totally redundant car versus the GT, which is why I ended up with, I think this is my 8th GT, I think. That's not a flex, it's just a fact. This is indeed my 8th AMG GT because I love them so much. The platform is fantastic, even in, we were discussing it, weren't we, just now? How comfortable is this car?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's like a Golf I had.
Yeah, it's like totally,
my car.
The adaptive suspension is brilliant. So yeah, the GT platform, amazing for daily use. We know that it's good on track as well, with this being the fastest production car in the world. What a beast this is. Now, I've never been interested in the SL in recent years, like I said, because I felt it was a bit of a redundant product versus the AMG GT. The GT had a roadster, it did things better, it had the soft top that I preferred because it links better back to the 300 SL. And I always thought that the SL should always be a 2+2 seater, much like our SL60 back there. And being a 2-seater only, even if this new car was a 2-seater only, I never, ever, ever would have considered it, because I've got this and it works, and I've got the GTS and that works. Whereas the SL for me now, 2+2 seats, a loud AMG engine that is going to be really emotional, loads of tech from the new S-Class. This now to me makes sense. It's the AMG GT I can enjoy with my family and my kids potentially. We'll have to see how it is actually living with it. But that's the idea behind it. That's what endears me towards this new car, because for me, it's what the SL actually should be.
I love the fact that you've got your coffee open.
Yeah, people are going to be freaking out about this. I can just imagine the comments.
No coffee guard.
But this is what it's all about. This is when you enjoy your cars. The best fun that we've ever had in these cars has been on the road trips. Just like chuck as much shit in the car as possible.
Burgers.
Drinks, burgers.
Doner kebab.
Yeah, especially doner kebab. So let's finish this journey, head to Northampton and check the car out. It is sweltering today, 40 degrees, hottest day in the UK this year. Bloody hell, 40 degrees in the UK. Look at our little lineup here. Looking fantastic with the SL60, the GT Black, Tristan's car back there, very nice. So guys, we've arrived at Northampton, as you can see. Got a nice bit of car porn outside, perfect for the new SL I think, with the previous generation now, GT Black series. The SL that pretty much our new one has taken biggest inspiration from, here with the SL60, and of course the lovely Brabus 500 over here. I'm gonna head inside the cars right here, as you saw it last time, sitting there behind the cover. Before I go in, I promise I will show you this car, but I'm gonna put the other SL here and then we can look at the two of them together. Don't worry, you'll get to see all the wonderful stuff inside here before the day is out. A couple of previous SLs to greet us as we come in. I like that. I like what you're doing here in Northampton. Ugh, no, keep it away, keep it away. And there she is, hiding behind the covers. I know you guys have been teased enough, but I love looking at it under the cover because it looks so muscular. Look at that. The best or nothing, as always. Should we pull these covers off? Actually, I want to introduce someone first, again. Tristan.
Hey.
Hello.
How are you, buddy?
How you doing?
I'm here to see this beauty.
You're here to see the beauty. So you got a sneak peek of this a second ago. What was your first impression? The first.
You see, I've never seen one on the road before. In fact, I've never seen one in the flesh. And I was saying to you earlier that I thought it was a bit feminine at times.
But now?
Now. It's all man.
It's all man.
It's all man.
Let's pull off the covers and see it properly. All right, let's get the covers off, shall we? All right, guys, let's go. So there you go, my SL55. Not a spec I've ever really done before. It's totally not me. but I'm going to explain all the spec. Obsidian black with the Night package too, so that means black wheels. We've got de-chromed grille, etc. As you can see, the presence of this car, it's pretty special. The spec, totally unique for the UK. Why isn't this available in the UK? I'm going to take you around the whole car and explain it to you because this is very, very special. So I haven't had this AMG keyring before. This is a new one for me. In fact, there's a lot about this car that I haven't had in a Mercedes before, a lot of new technology. So Obsidian black, it's not really, you know, the most exciting exterior color for a sports car, but on the SL, I think it helps it be that much more sporty, particularly with that premium package that gives you the black wheels and the de-chromed elements that you have. What are we talking about when we say Night package 2? We're talking about black chrome on stuff like the Panamericana grille here, rather than this brighter chrome. So that difference that you see there, it's not just on the grille, it also finds its way on stuff like the V8 bi-turbo badge, which you can see it's not quite black because that's black, but it gives you a nice kind of darker shadow look to it. That continues on the rear with like your AMG badge, your rear star, the SL55 logo, which for me, so legendary as a kid growing up, loving the SL55. Then you get the darkened rear tail lights as well in the premium package, and darker front. That makes the whole thing just come together really well. In terms of first impressions for me as a customer, just like the width and the aggression of this car versus the previous one, it's much more AMG GT, much more like my Black Series, and you'll see that when they're kind of put together. We'll open the hood in a minute and see who built the engine. Night package on the front with the darkened grille is great, darkened headlights amazing. Love the cuts within the air vents there, very GT63S, very aggressive. Power dome bonnets, lovely, such a width to the front, especially on, you know, the wheel arches. Wheels, massive compared to the last generation, 21, which again gives the SL55 quite a stance. It's not as low as the 63. 63 is 10 millimeters lower. The wheels are lovely. I really like these. They're the Y-spoke design, multi-spokes, 21 inch, so they're the largest you can get as well. And you've got the lovely AMG logo on the spoke there, which is great. And the red calipers, which I quite like on the 55, which is again unique just to that car. Of course, now we have the cloth roof as opposed to the old Vario roof. This is a lot lighter. It's more in tune with the old SL300 as well. I've always liked the SL this way. Lovely rear exhaust in the same dark chrome as the badges, darkened rear lights. Yep, this spec is a winner. 4Matic Plus, of course, one of the first things we need to check, like with G-Wagon, is who built this engine? Always an exciting moment for me to pull open the hood of a new AMG. Look at that. New engine cover for the 4-litre bi-turbo here inside the SL, where you can see Renee Roth. Amazing, thank you for that. Looks glorious, doesn't it? So 480 odd brake horsepower. In fact, it's the same amount of horsepower that the old SL55 had in terms of the number, which is quite a cool fact. Yes, it's detuned, but actually mechanically, the engine is identical to the 63, so potentially you could do a tune to pump it up a little bit more. But how cool does this engine bay look? It's so GT Black Series, isn't it? Or AMG GT. And of course, the future GT now shares platform with this, so not half surprising. Looks fantastic. So let me show you the inside now. Luckily, you can open the roof of the SL just with the key. Quite easy to do. Very quick folding roof. And now you can see my interior. It's lovely. It's the one I kept testing in all the 63s that we had. The lovely dark brown exclusive interior with the diamond stitching. And you can't normally get this with the black exterior, sportier looking premium car. So that itself is unique. But to explain a bit more about this, we're going to jump in the car, take a look at the spec on the inside as well, so you can appreciate it. So here we go, guys. We've got the whole squad out here. GT Black, SL60 and the new SL55 all looking amazing together. It is sweltering out here. I'm going to do the rest of the video at home because, frankly speaking, I can't do it here. It's too bloody hot. But let's just look at these before we shoot off. How good does this trio look together? GT Black is actually on, which is why the fans are making so much noise there. SL60 just in its element. So this is a proper 6-litre engine, okay? No messing around with the names back then. This is pre-merger AMG. You can see the amazing monoblock alloys. Paint is in, I mean, this is in such good nick, this car. Now we'll come on to the interior in a second. Look at the state of it. The old AMG style, you you know, rear spoiler as they used to do back then. Inside, it's insane. Look at the Nokia. You've got a matching red Nokia, and it works. I've asked, it does actually work, you know. Look at this. This is not something that you see every day. It's used almost every day by the owner, which is 40 Collection on Instagram. He loves it, and why the hell wouldn't he? So this is really that generation of SL that I think did it perfectly, and what inspires our new car today. Bit of race, but also the side of luxury with, you know, the 2+2, the tech from our more luxurious Mercedes Benz cars put into a sporty AMG package. I like it. 2+2, 2+2. That's what it's all about. Let's get this car home. It's too hot to film here. We're all sweltering, and I want to see what this thing drives like. So guys, back home finally with the SL. It's the hottest day in recorded history in the UK today at 41 degrees Celsius. It was baking in the dealership. The AC was doing jack all, to be frank, so I had zero motivation to sit there filming while my mates were melting outside as well. So I thought I'd bring it home, and now we can actually appreciate the spec, go through what makes this car unique, why it came early, a few of those bits. And the other thing I really wanted to do was do the setup of this car. I love doing car setups, you know, getting your settings in there, etc. But this car is the first MBUX car that I've ever owned. And it's the advanced MBUX with the S-Class screen, Mercedes Benz ID, etc. So lots in here to discover, lots of cool things as well that I've just seen hinted as I was driving back. So let's do that. Let's talk about the spec. Let's set the car up. And of course, before you go, I'm going to have you have a listen to that exhaust because, oh my God, on the way here. Oh my God. Oh my God. So guys, what makes my spec unique? Well, in the UK, like every other country, you get something called a dealer ordering guide, which basically sets out what the customer can order in that region for the dealer. And before the UK dealer ordering guide was made, a bunch of cars were pre-spec'd, guessing what might be available for the UK. So this is before any of those things were locked in. Now in the UK, you can get two types of SL55 or 63. One is premium, which from the outside gives you black wheels and the AMG Night Packet 2 with everything de-chromed. The other option is touring, which gives you silver only wheels and everything outside with, predictably, chrome trim. And then on the inside, for the premium cars, you get 4 different interior choices that you can see here, the red, the black, etc. So more standard. And then in the touring, you get the more luxury S-Class coupe type interiors of the macchiato beige and like my dark brown. And it's going to get slightly more complicated now. In the premium, you can get carbon trim, and in the touring, the classier one, you can only get aluminium. My car matches 3 different things together that you can't get. So I've got the premium on the outside, which is the sportier version with the black and the night pack, and I've got the more exclusive interior on the inside, which is the brown. But unlike the touring, I also got the carbon as well. So I've got the exclusive interior with the carbon trim. So that makes this car completely unique versus any other one that might come in the UK in the future. Yes, it might have a clone somewhere in Germany, but for the purposes here, I was so happy to get something that was, just, I think, very kind of matching the idea of performance and luxury so well in a specification, but then unique as well. So now though, let's jump in the car and set it up, because I love setting up newer cars. And to do that, once again, I want to get the roof off so you guys can see what the car looks like. Stunning, look at that. So that's the roof off, and how good does this new generation of SL look, just profile wise, with the roof off. Really stunning. Then you can see, if you have a more colourful interior, what it looks like. And in fact, there's a lovely intro screen. Get the S-Class light door handle open, which is also lighted, as you can see. Hop in, and you're actually going to get welcomed by a lovely screen. Look at that. I love what AMG have done with this. So cool. So there were some surprises when I turned this car on for the first time that I was not expecting. Surprise number one, look at that. So I've not done that myself, okay? I've got a Mercedes Me ID, which is what the car appeared on the app. And within that, it's got my other cars as well, and it's got my email address and other bits and pieces, a few settings saved. But when I gave that to the dealer and they linked my car to this, now I'm a user on this. And in fact, my exact same PIN code works. Let me just put that in. And it's the exact same one that I have in the app as well. How brilliant is that? So it's linking across. This is something that I said in the past that I want car makers to do, is to have an account where your main settings, like your seating position, other settings that you usually keep, colors, etc., are all saved, on your user profile, including like the dynamic select, which I'll talk about in a minute. You'll see as I'm going through this now that I've got these plastic screen protectors everywhere. I'm an Asian. We just don't take the plastics off our stuff. We leave them on our sofas. I'm surprised, if they left the plastics on the seats here, I would have left them on, honestly. In fact, if you check out my TikTok, there's a few funny videos about plastic staying on cars. And I'll do one on this as well, so you can look forward to that. It's going to be very tongue-in-cheek. So let's do the setup assistant. Let's see what it takes us through. It's saying access protection. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, so fingerprint, look. It's going to ask me to do fingerprint, just like when you're setting up a new smartphone, and very much like doing like an iPhone or a Samsung setup. And there you go. I've got a finger, which is, there we go. Fingers added onto that. Do voice recognition. So after a few simple commands, it's now learnt the voice side as well. It's asking me about my name here. Is it going to be Razes Rehan? No, it's not. Let's correct this. AMG. There we go. As it should be. Now it's saying suggestions. We'll try that and actually see what it's like, and I'll tell you once I do the ownership review how that's working. We don't need to do the seating position. And look, like I said, it saves, your steering wheel and your seating stuff automatically, which is brilliant. And we're going to restore that because I think that's a great idea. And then you can decide what your zero layer is. I didn't even know this. So you can have either a fully functional navigation as your zero layer, or kind of like a setback one with the classic features here. I think we're going to go with the intelligent suggestions for now. Then if that doesn't work out great, we'll go back to the classic menu bar. And there you go, set up. So I'm really impressed with that. MBUX always surprising me with how clever it is with these things. So the interior, lovely. I hate the steering wheel. I've actually ordered a replacement one, which is going to be carbon and Dynamica, which will come from the latest C43, EQE, 53, etc. So that will be coming. Hopefully I'll have that by the time the full review drops. Now let's get our dynamic select screens up. Love that. Love those logos when they come up. Now if we go to the AMG menu here, they've done something quite cool. I've showed this in a few other videos. You can actually edit now how these appear in terms of which one goes where. So I can move Sport Plus to my main one, get rid of Wet right to the end, put Comfort, which I use a lot, right next to Sport Plus, and now suddenly this whole thing is a bit more tailored to how I would have the car set up, and I love that. That's so cool. So we've done that. That one's all decided. We can actually also then go to our settings, and we can actually change this as well. So that's these menus here, and we can add more, including like drag race, which is always so useful, vehicle data, engine data, brilliant. So you can add a bunch, and then you can realign them as to how you want them to display as well. So this is brilliant. This is fantastic. You can actually tailor each one to your own liking. I'm going to mess around with that more later, but that's brilliant. That's taking this and taking it, a step forward. Of course, the driver zones within the SL are great as well. We've got Super Sport, Track Pace, all the other ones that you get in your standard Mercedes these days. I'm going to stick with Super Sport for now. And additionally, we also have the heads-up display there, which, just like I've shown you in the past, you can configure. And again, you've got Super Sport, Track Pace, and other options within there. It's a hell of an interior. It really is. I'm loving the ambient lighting. I love this interior, and you can see why I wanted it to match with the sportier interior on the outside. You got the lovely dark brown with the diamond exclusive stitching of Altebach logo up here, carbon that you can't get with the dark brown in the UK. It's all a little bit unique, and I love that element. I love the interior of the SL anyway, with the screen, which is, it's set in the AMG GT style center console with a NACA duct shape and the V8 engine shape as well. So all of that is so cool. It's all that AMG GT heritage. You've got the vents here that's so cool from the SL, etc. But then, S-Class tech. You've got the lovely cowl around the digital display here. All of this is so cool. So it's a great interior anyway. Rear space doesn't look too shabby, actually, to be fair. I think it looks all right. It's not quite as much as 911 perhaps, but the kids will have to live with it. In terms of stuff like rear space, boot space, getting prams in and all the rest of that, I'm going to do a first drive very quick compared to what I've done in the past with the collection videos. It'll be pre the car being run in, and we'll look at all of those elements within there as well as more stuff to do with the system, some hidden gems within the digital light and other little amazing things that I found even within the first few hours of ownership. It's such a massive step ahead, yet the car still feels like a dinosaur because of the way that it sounds, which I love the way this car sounds. It's so cool. The other cool thing is I get stuff that I just don't expect in this car, like, you know, the heads-up display that I showed you. I've got massaging seats. What? In a car that looks and feels like an AMG GT to me. That's brilliant. You know, passenger and driver massaging seats here. We've got full-on ambient lighting set up like you have in the latest Mercedes AMG cars and Mercedes Benz cars. So, you know, you can get all the multicolour stuff and the welcome screens, etc., etc. It's so well done. I'm going to stick with the monochromatic colour for now, but you know, that's in there. It's just like S-Class. Like I said, there's loads of hidden stuff in here that I've just found today that I'm sure there's going to be tons more once I explore the car. So I've got my collection bag. I promised to show you what's in here as always. The first and most important thing of any car, plenty of microfibers, okay? So I've got those, particularly when you've got touch screens and you want to keep your leather and your steering wheel, etc. clean. I'm going to keep 2 in here, so that's important. I've got an extra little AMG bag here that I wanted to just keep because this car has not as much storage as others, so in case I want to store some extra stuff, chucking that in there as well. Wet wipes, because family man, got kids, and I make a lot of mistakes myself, as I always say. Speaking of mistakes, a nice water bottle spray to keep on hand all the time, because you do end up needing it. An AMG pen that I thought would go very nice. I never put anything in the pen space in these cars, so that lovely AMG pen is going to go in there. And finally, dry tissues, as you would expect. I've already put the USB-C cable in here, only USB-Cs in the SL, and these all work for your CarPlay, etc., etc. Now, if I close the center console, one final thing that I was thinking of putting in here as one of the first mods that I'm going to do on this car is, check that out, the Affalterbach crest. And I was thinking of putting that dead center on the center console here, because I think that will look really cool. Right in the middle there, I think it would really work. Let me know what you think in the comments if I should put that there. If you guys agree to it, I'll do it, and then by the time we do the first drive, you can see what that looks like. For now, the main thing before I sign off is to show you what this piece sounds like. I'm so happy right now. Look at that start up. And now, listen to the revs. Like we saw in the car that I drove at Monaco, which was a 63, this sounds as good. And in fact, while I've been driving it, it sounds even better than that car. The rumble is like the last car that I drove that had this kind of rumble was the original AMG GT or the original C63S with the 4 litre. That's how mean this car sounds. I'm so happy. That's why I'm going to accelerate the first drive video before running in to show you guys, because you deserve to see this in action. So that's coming very, very soon. So guys, that's my new SL. Absolutely love the car. A massive, massive thanks to Mercedes-Benz UK, who, without you giving me the opportunity to get an early car, I would not have the joy of owning this in the summer. So a huge thanks to you guys, because you're going to allow all my viewers to enjoy some early reviews on this as well. Massive thanks also to Matt at Lux Asset Finance, who helped me finance that, helped me finance the G-Wagon, the 992, without whom none of this would have happened. So a massive thanks to him. Hit him up if you want to get the car of your dreams as well. I'm going to have, unlike my other car collections, a first drive coming up for this very, very quickly, followed by a full review and ownership experience, because I want you guys to see, as I'm running it in, how this car behaves and what it sounds like. Because if you think on idle it sounds good, oh my God, on the run, it's incredible. So expect that in the coming weeks. And then, like I said, the full review, loads of SL content to come, including going up against Porsche. You guys are going to love it. So thanks again for watching this collection video and enjoying the experience with me. If you've enjoyed this, please do like, and most of all, subscribe to RBR, and I'll see you guys next time.